Before I get to what is the diamond approach, maybe it would be better to address why the diamond approach, or even better, why teach the diamond approach. Why do I teach the diamond approach? The number one reason I teach is because the diamond approach radically changed my life for the better. In fact, I remember having the realization one day that I was actually living a life instead of trying to get a life, a pursuit I had engaged in for about 25 years after becoming an adult on my own in the world. Like many others, and maybe most of you, I reached a point in my life where I realized that most of my life was a long series of dissatisfactions, or at least only temporary satisfaction. My hopes and desires and actions left me constantly searching for some sense of wholeness or peace or contentment. I grew up in a world of consumerism, and I was trained and conditioned to believe that happiness and satisfaction and contentment was achieved by consuming something from the outside. Whether it was a good meal, sex, a good book, whatever, peace, contentment, value, meaning, and satisfaction came from outside. There were certainly enough TV ads supporting that conviction. There's nothing wrong with consuming a good meal, some great sex, a good book, a good movie, or any other human experience. But consumption will never lead us to what we really long for. I'd probably still be simply consuming life if I hadn't had an unexpected moment of divine intervention when I was 19 years old. That out-of-the-blue experience was a moment of personal shock and awe. There was more to life and the human being than I had a clue of. Perhaps you're like me, maybe your life has reached a point where you find yourself in a rut, going in circles of dynamic inertia, seeking peace and satisfaction, but still chasing your tail, or at least that elusive tail of reality. Maybe you've had your own moment of grace that has led you to challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself in life. As I like to say, you can't undiscover the moon. The diamond approach isn't easy. There are no sacred cows and no stones left unturned, but there is adventure, insight, and engagement in life from a perspective of expression, creativity, and discovery, rather than an empty meal of consuming one experience after another. What is the diamond approach? Simply put, the diamond approach is a spiritual path. It's also a teaching and methodology about exploring the nature of reality and human consciousness. Human experience has three basic levels: the physical, the psychological, and the essential. Our experience is a synthesis of these. In normal life, we may experience sitting between these realms. We may have a split between our head and our heart, our head and our body, the psychological and the spiritual, as well as other splits. In the diamond approach, psychological work is used to open deeper realms of spiritual experience and exploration. And the aim of the diamond approach is both the realization of the spiritual and freedom from the psychological constrictions, those ruts and patterns that constrain our everyday lives and limit our joy, passion, and creativity. The diamond approach is based on experiential living and basic knowledge, rather than intellectual pursuit and ordinary knowledge. The methodology is responsive to the situation of the student instead of a focus on learning a cosmology or a system of dogma. If you go further than the tip of your nose to discover what's truly precious, you've sent too far. The teachings introduce students to a wide range of possibilities, like essential qualities of the soul itself, boundless dimensions of being, clarification of the personality, true identity, presence and essence, wisdom vehicles, and much more. These teachings help to give students a taste and a beginning understanding, a starting point for further personal exploration and inquiry. The central methodology of the diamond approach is open and open-ended inquiry. This is one part of a process of understanding that represents the unfoldment of reality and the illumination of the individual soul. The Diamond approach is unique in the way that living understanding is connected to the inner guidance of reality. If you're interested in knowing more about the Diamond approach, feel free to contact me via this or via the email address listed on this page.